Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Thursday. So, today we want to be talking about breakfast. I know a lot of people that don't like to have breakfast in the morning. They like to usually just skip it and go straight into lunch, whether because they're too busy or they're not hungry, or generally because they ate very late, like right close to bedtime. So, all that food is still digesting in their stomach. So, keynote, you always want to eat at least 3 to 4 hours before bedtime so that way it has time to digest. And then, it won't wreck your light, your deep, and your REM sleep. So you always want to keep that in mind. Again, based on your body type, sometimes it could be different. Maybe you may need a little bit more. So always pay attention to what you eat as well. So for breakfast, it's very important to have. You want to start your energy right. So like for me personally, as soon as I wake up, from my last previous video, if you haven't went, check it out. I went over like as far as like the supplements that I take to recover from my foot. So right now we're about 2 weeks and 3 days into my post injury. So far it's good. Just the toes doing a lot of flexion and extension little by little. So little progress makes a big difference. So again, I have the supplements here for that I reviewed from the previous video. If you haven't seen it, check it out. From the Boss Salt to the Perfect Amino, collagen peptides, and then also the 100% grass-fed protein because it's just less processed, a lot easier. And it's, of course, in the morning, always making sure you're drinking your water, staying hydrated because, that's the thing that you need as soon as you wake up. Your body dehydrates as you sleep. But then, again, check that out in the previous video. Moving on to the breakfast part. So when I wake up, I typically like to have pasteurized eggs, at least 3. Some people tend, and I have the whole egg. Some people tend to just go with the egg whites, but because they're afraid of the cholesterol. But you have to have seemingly a good amount of egg yolks to have that kind of cholesterol like spike up. So you have your good and your bad cholesterol. So always want to monitor that as well. So for the pasteurized eggs, I have about 3 of them. Each of them is about like 6 grams of protein. So, that's a good amount right there. For the carbs that I have in the morning, I usually tend to go with oatmeal. Again, this one's Nature's Promise Organics. I like to keep things very natural, very simple, not too many ingredients. They say if you have more than 5 ingredients in one product, it's usually not good. So anything 5 or less is usually the way to go. So I usually have like a cup of that. I'll mix it in with some fruit like blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, always depending on, which, fruit you want to have, bananas, things like that. And then with the eggs, that I don't just have it by itself, I usually put it on Dave's Killer Thin Toast because it's just a lot easier. And, you also get your fiber as well. So, you have a mixture of your proteins, your carbs, and then fiber. And then sometimes if I want to throw it in a little bit, I'll add like an avocado just for the healthy fats because you always want to have like a good amount of proteins, fats, and carbs. Those are your macro basic nutrients that you need to have. So, always have that. Again, you never want to skip breakfast because even if it's something light, have it because you want to have some type of energy to use as you're going throughout your day because, people tend to like build up a big appetite during lunch and then they eat more than they need to, especially if they're trying to lose weight and their goal is to burn fat. So you want to have the consistency of having like, say, even in breakfast, small meals, having a small meal, and then maybe a good moderate meal in lunch, whether it's like a chicken, salmon, steak, whatever the case may be. And then at the end of your day after work, or if you're self-employed like me, depending on what time you get off, again, 3 to 4 hours before bed, having a light to close moderate dinner, but I prefer light so that way it's just easier to digest. So that way you get into that fasted state. So when you sleep and wake up, you're able to eat breakfast in the morning again. So always just keep that in mind. So these are just basic things again that I have that are very simple. You can also be creative as well. As far as you want to add in some things like some seasoning and stuff like that, I would just stay cautious on that because certain seasonings have a lot of sodium in it, so be cautious of your sodium intake, but always discuss that with your doctor as well as following. Again, all these here are just for educational purposes. I'm not telling you to take any of these. Always talk to your doctor first before having any of these supplements or food choices that I'm showing here. I'm just showing you what I take personally and what works for me based on my post-foot injury and then also for my breakfast in the morning. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, send this to somebody that you might find this very informational or even entertaining. And then also comment at the bottom, let me know what you guys want me to discuss as far as nutrition, workout tips, even like kickboxing, because you guys know I do that as well. So if you have any information, feel free to comment below. And thanks again, guys, for taking time out of your day and like and subscribe.